In Ridley Scott's Alien, one scene became so disturbing and conceptually shocking that it nearly derailed the film's balance between horror and suspense. Late in the movie, as Ripley races through the doomed corridors of the Nostromo, she stumbles upon a horrifying sight. Her crewmates Dallas and Brett no longer alive in any human sense, but grotesquely cocooned to the walls, their bodies pulsating and partially fused into the alien hive structure. The implication is chilling. The alien wasn't just a predator, but a parasite that used human bodies to reproduce. In this deleted sequence, Brett has begun transforming into an egg, while Dallas, barely conscious, begs Ripley to end his suffering. The entire set was built to look like an organic nightmare, wet, sticky, and pulsating with life, lit by flickering orange lights that made it look like hell inside a spaceship. This was not a scene of action or heroism. It was slow, suffocating horror, where life and death were melting into something unrecognizable. The scene was meant to complete the creature's life cycle, showing that every stage, from the facehugger to the chestburster, led to new monstrosities born from human flesh. But that very idea was deemed too grotesque, too unsettling, and perhaps even too philosophical for 1979 audiences. The studio worried that including it would push the film's pacing off balance, breaking the momentum of Ripley's final escape and confusing viewers who weren't ready for such a disturbing concept. Ridley Scott himself loved the sequence, but agreed that its placement disrupted the rhythm of the film. Instead of amplifying tension, it stopped the story cold, forcing viewers to process an entirely new horror right as the movie reached its climax. And so, the cocoon scene was removed, locked away in the editing vaults, unseen by audiences for more than 2 decades. When fans finally witnessed it in the 2003 director's cut, it became one of the most discussed and chilling moments in the entire Alien franchise. Suddenly, everything about the creature made more sense. The deleted footage revealed a horrifying biological logic behind its existence, suggesting a cycle of endless consumption and transformation. Human beings weren't just victims. They were raw materials for new monsters. It deepened the terror of the alien, turning it from a killer into a living ecosystem. Fans and critics were fascinated. Many argued that the scene was too powerful to remain hidden, that it added tragic depth to Dallas and Brett's fates and gave Ripley's final escape even more emotional weight. Others agreed with the filmmakers that its inclusion might have been too much, robbing the ending of its breathless energy. Beyond the pacing debate, the cocoon scene became symbolic of what made Alien so revolutionary. It showed that true horror doesn't just come from violence. It comes from transformation, from the loss of identity, from the merging of human and monstrous. The sequence's design echoed H.R. Giger's biomechanical nightmares, a world where flesh and machine merged seamlessly into decay. Every surface dripped with alien resin, every movement hinted at a perverse kind of creation. It was a visual poem of corruption and rebirth, far beyond the usual tropes of monster movies. Had it stayed in the final cut, Alien might have become even darker and more disturbing. A film less about survival and more about the horrifying inevitability of being consumed by what we create. Even without it, the spirit of that scene lingers throughout the movie and the franchise. It explains the alien's relentless hunger, its eerie intelligence, and its grotesque method of reproduction. It turned what could have been a simple creature feature into a chilling meditation on biology, evolution, and control. In many ways, the cocoon scene wasn't just a deleted moment. It was a key to understanding the universe of Alien. And while it was once deemed too controversial for audiences to see, today it stands as a legendary piece of cinema history, a glimpse into the unfiltered terror that Ridley Scott originally envisioned, where humanity itself was nothing more than the raw material for a nightmare.